Welcome to the Damn Plan Podcast, the show that gives women like you a kick in the backside with love and the motivation you need to grow a profitable business that fits your life. I'm Kim Nagle.
I'm Sandy Soderholm, and we are a mother-daughter duo. All are welcome at our table, so grab your favorite beverage and let's do the damn thing. Okay, here we are. It's our first episode of the Damn Plan Podcast.
Hey, we're doing it. Woo!
Oh, yes. I'm so happy that we're finally doing it. And today we're talking about real talk. What is motivation? I'm just going to throw it to you, Kim. Let's talk about motivation. You talk about it a lot in your book. How about you tell us, what is motivation?
Well, I can tell you to start with what motivation isn't. Motivation is some magic fairy dust that you're waiting for somebody to go sprinkle, 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 and then everybody's okay. No, motivation happens when we take action. Okay. We can't sit on our couch and get motivated. If you're trying to learn how to do something, if you're trying to get out there and get more exercise, you're not very motivated when you're warm and comfy sitting on the couch. So it takes you that first step out the door, on the trail, walking to get motivated. And that brings up a big point for you and I. Some days we do these morning walks where we walking in and talking business, getting our day started, getting the juices flowing. That's very motivating to me. And I think for people that are those solopreneurs, people we're working now more solo, behind cameras, we're isolated. We really need each other to stay motivated. We really do. When you call me, now I need to be accountable. And Sandy, that's where motivation starts, is when we're accountable to someone else. Don't you agree?
Oh, 100%. I feel like times in our business when we are the most motivated is when we've had coaches. I mean, obviously we're a coaching company, and I think everyone should have a coach. That's just what I believe into my core. That's why we have business coaches. But truly, when you are accountable to somebody else, or you know that somebody else is going to ask you the question, are you going to get up and walk today? Are you going to do yoga? Are you going to go out and do your sales calls? Are you going to do, the things that you need to do to be successful, to get motivated to do it, is when you're accountable to somebody else. I truly believe that.
Absolutely. And, you mentioned sales calls. I mean, people dread the sales call. I mean, there are salespeople out there that gig out on them, but guess why they gig out on them? Guess why they get all excited about doing it? Is because they've done it over and over and over. They've failed, they've succeeded. I mean, you went through this, Sandy. I remember when you first started in your business career, oh my gosh, you were out there making sales calls, cold sales calls. How did that work for you? How did you stay motivated through the nose?
I mean, it was incredibly difficult.
No doubt. I mean, there are days when you just don't
Yeah.
want to do it anymore,
Oh,
right?
100%. Yeah. And it really truly, I mean, we were on a sales team. I was on a sales team rather. And so I had that accountability of my other people too, because it really depended on how we did as a group, if we met our numbers. So I didn't want to let anyone down. Again, that accountability part. But
Yes.
also knowing that we're all collectively going out there taking action together to get to that bigger goal really helped me stay motivated. So that was a big motivator for me personally.
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
finding what really motivates you and not being afraid or ashamed of it and really using it to your advantage can help out a lot too. So like I
Yeah,
said, it's really having those people in my corner and knowing that I'm not alone in it.
oh my gosh, knowing that you're not alone, being accountable, knowing that you are not somehow broken. If there is a day
Yeah.
when you get up and you can't hardly get your head off the pillow, yesterday was really tough and you just no way. You start smack talking yourself, you look for the next easy out, all those things. Those are real. That's real. You're not broken and you do not have to feel bad. You just simply need to recognize it And here again, we're going to beat this one up a little bit today. Have someone to talk to about it.
Mhm.
Because the worst thing that I've noticed in my own head when times were tough for me, I've been broke. I've been broke more than once. I've been broken more than once. And the times when I sat behind my armor of, hey, Sandy, I'm okay. I'm okay.
I can do it
No,
myself.
everything's fine. Everything's fine. That's when it was the worst. And I made less progress. I did less business when I was not willing to share. I mean, the beautiful part of being in business as a woman is finding a network of women, finding that coach that you can talk to say, hey, here's real life. Here's real life. This is what happened. It wasn't so good at home last night. Or, hey, I really screwed up and now I'm in trouble money wise. Whatever it is, being able to not have to carry that burden alone is so important to staying motivated and not having to feel the guilt or the shame. Align yourself up with people where there's no guilt, there's no shame.
And isn't that crazy how when you do open up to others and you start to talk about what you're struggling with, it's almost like that struggle or that thing that was that big cloud that's over you kind of just goes away, or even just like isn't such a burden or such a heavy load on your shoulders. It's like, okay, now that I've spoken out my truth, here's what I can do now to move forward or get back past that hump. So if you're listening today and maybe it's today or maybe it was yesterday and you pissed away the whole day, maybe you were doing things that you know you shouldn't have done, but it filled your cup because you needed a day of just rest for a little bit so you could be better. It's okay to have a day of rest. Just don't make it a habit where it's 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row, a week, 2 weeks. Get out of that, whatever you're in, talk to somebody, find your people, and move on and take action, because that's what's going to motivate you to go to the next step, is really that action piece.
We have got a lot of tools in the damn plan basket to really help people identify some of the things you just talked about. I mean, we have the damn plan time tracker. I love it,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes, and I'll do a little confession to help you understand. I was kind of down on the dumps in myself. So guess what I did? I spent a lot of time watching NCIS reruns. I was putting an inordinate amount of time into Netflix, not because I wanted to watch the reruns, not because I needed a day of rest, because I was avoiding what the reality was. So sometimes we need a little checkup of sorts to say, why are we not motivated? Why are we not doing what we said we would? But I want to go back to where we started this whole episode and say, people, find your people. Find people who are number one. We talk about this in the show. We're going to talk about it a lot. Who are willing to kick your backside with love, who are willing to tell you the truth and hold your truth in confidence, stand in the gap for you when you're struggling. I can't, for me, hands down, that has been what's kept me motivated. And Sandy, we can let everybody know you're my biggest motivator. Yeah, you get me out there and you get me on the road, walking, doing yoga, getting in positions I never even dreamed of. We even did pregnant yoga together. We did all the things because I wasn't alone. So don't be alone. Recognize when you need those days of rest. Don't feel guilt or shame about them, and be willing to share your truth. We're going to talk a lot about truth in this podcast because, as I said in the damn plan, what's the secret to business success? It's being willing to tell the truth. It's recognizing the truth in your business, recognizing your own personal truth, be willing to share it with others. But we have a little secret tool that we haven't talked about yet. And we want to talk about it in the upcoming episode. And that is, hey,
Well,
drum roll. Oh,
sorry to ruin your drum roll moment there. But It's a secret, but not so secret, because
Eh,
if you've read the damn plan, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about a kick-ass motivator. The kick-ass motivator is really designed to help you put out what motivates you, put it out there into the world, front and center, whether that be on your screensaver, on a piece of paper hung up in your bathroom, wherever it is. It's designed to be in front of your face so you can each day look at it and continue to stay motivated. And we're going to dive into that even more in this next episode. So, for sure, if you like what we're talking about so far, subscribe to our podcast, because we're going to be talking a lot more about different business topics, ranging from motivation to what it really takes to live life on your own terms, to just being a mom or a caretaker in this world of business. Really, we're going to talk about all the things.
Well, we're going to talk about that DAMN, determined decisions, act consistently, mind your business. My favorite, no excuses. So that's kind of the kick in the backside with love, is really holding each other accountable. Thank you, Sandy, for holding me accountable, because it has meant the world to our business, to every business dealing I have had since we became partners. So I am so happy to be doing this podcast with you. We're just getting it out there. We're sharing, and we're so glad that you've joined us.
Absolutely. So, again, subscribe to the podcast to get that kick in your backside with love that you need to grow a profitable business you want.